Good afternoon. Welcome to a talk on curiosity, discovery, and identity. My name is Robert Borows. Curiosity, discovery, and identity. 3 small words that can change your life forever. Raise your hand if you have ever been curious about anything in life. I know I have. Maybe you have wanted to travel to a new country. Or maybe you have wanted to find your identity in life. Eleanor Roosevelt said it best. I think at a child's birth, if a mother could ask a fairy godmother to endow it with the most useful gift, that gift should be curiosity. We must ask ourselves this very important question: why is Indonesia such a hub for curiosity, discovery, and identity? Is it because people in our community are curious about foods from other cultures? Or maybe people in our community want to discover new lands. Or maybe people in our community want to find their identity in life. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there are over 200 ethnic groups here in Indonesia. I believe that people in our community have a lot of experience with curiosity, discovery, and identity, and therefore have learned to accept change. Change can be scary. Change might bring a disaster to your life. What if you make a change and everything goes wrong? I'm here to tell you that if you learn to accept change, the doors to curiosity, discovery, and identity will open up in your life around you. All of a sudden, your life will become beautiful and you will have a magic wand. And with this magic wand, you might be just curious enough to become a teacher, or maybe you'll discover that you can't eat sugar, or maybe you will find your identity in life. The year 1991 might not mean anything to you, but it is the year I was born and almost died. You see, friends, I have a condition called hereditary fructose intolerance. That means I can't eat any sugar, no pizza, no cake, and definitely no fruits or vegetables. This condition has forced me to be curious about the world around me. I wonder, what does birthday cake taste like? I've never had it. I wonder, what does an apple taste like? I've never had one. This condition has also forced me to try to find my identity in life. You see, growing up, I wanted to be the next Gordon Ramsay. I thought maybe I can become a chef known all across the world for great cooking. But can you imagine a chef who can't eat sugar, or a chef who can't taste his own cooking? That seems nearly impossible, right? I thought maybe I can become the next James Bond, surely. Or maybe I could join the military. But I was told, sorry, Robert, if you can't eat sugar, you cannot join us. I thought maybe I can find my identity as the next Steve Burns from Blue's Clues. After all, we have the same haircut, the same suit, the same glasses, same facial hair, and even the same face structure. But the life lesson I learned here is that you cannot find your identity through Steve Burns or Gordon Ramsay. You have to make your own identity in life, be your own person. Thankfully, along the way, I have had many mentors that have helped me along to become successful. Let's meet Mr. Yin. He was my high school Chinese language teacher. Hi, Mr. Yin. Now, he had a few philosophies or sayings in life. When it came to tests, he would often say, Robert, you earned an A on this test. That's not good. I want you to earn an A+ next time. He was not trying to be mean, but he was actually saying, Robert, next time I want you to be better than how you were right now. Or a lesson in self-improvement. He would often say, every child should learn Mandarin Chinese in school. And if you asked him, he might even say that learning Mandarin is more important than learning English. He also had a philosophy on career choices in life. He would often say, class, you have 2 career options in life. You can either join the CIA and become a spy, or you can become an engineer. Those are your only 2 options. You can't do anything else. No matter what he would say, do not become a teacher. He said they work long hours and they don't get paid very much money. So as I was finishing up high school, I thought about becoming a spy and joining the CIA, but I ran into a problem. You see, I'm also red-green colorblind. That means I see colors just a little bit differently than you do. If you look up here on the screen, you probably see 3 people with red hair. Raise your hand if you see 3 people with red hair. Do you notice something? My hand is not raised. Do you know why? Because I don't see 3 people with red hair. I see 3 people with green hair. Okay? If I had actually joined the CIA, I imagine that my life might look something like a game of Where's Waldo. I can imagine being in Jakarta, working as a spy, and being given a message, Robert, we need you to find the one person in this city with red hair. That would be pretty much impossible for me to do. I could find somebody with green hair for you. So, although I never became a spy, as far as you know, my life goes on. Soon I graduated from St. Petersburg College with a degree in paralegal studies. I took classes on contract law, constitutional law, and even international law. It was while taking these classes I met a wonderful mentor named Carol Haig. She happened to be the CEO of a fantastic law firm in Florida. And she invited me to do an internship at her law firm. Now, she also had a philosophy in life. She would say, Robert, every day you wake up, you need to do something to make your star rise. What she meant by this was always strive to be better today than yesterday. The same lesson of self-improvement like Mr. Yin had. She helped me do this a number of ways. She would allow me to attend boardroom meetings with some very well-known attorneys, CEOs, and business leaders from the area, and I learned so much about life from them. One day she came into my office and she said, Robert, I have a task for you. This is the employee handbook. I want you to go through this handbook and find all the ways that employees here at the law firm can break the rules and get away with it. So I did that. I found a way for part-time employees to receive full-time employee benefits like meal breaks and paid vacation. But as my internship came to an end, I was not offered a position there, and that's okay. My life went on. I soon found myself working in a deli making sandwiches of all things. But as you can imagine, that got boring pretty quickly. I wanted to grow. I wanted to learn new things in life. So I decided to join the loss prevention team at the company I was working for. Now, when you join the loss prevention team, you are usually given a few different tasks. One of those is you need to watch the security cameras all day long to know where everyone is and what they're doing. In other words, you need to be curious about the world around you. Now, if you look up here on the screen, this guy probably became a little bit too curious about the taste of candy and wanted to bring some home with him without paying. Your job in loss prevention would be to catch him. Let me tell you another story. I remember looking up at the cameras one day, and I said, oh, goodness gracious, there's a fire. Nobody has time for that. So I had to get on the radio and call over to the security team to race over to the building and help evacuate everyone before the whole building went up in flames around them. That's a little more exciting than making sandwiches, don't you think? Now, one day, my boss came to me and she said, Robert, we suspect that some of the employees in the warehouse are stealing candy. We need you to change your identity, go undercover, and figure out who they are. For once in my life, I felt like maybe I can become a spy. So I changed out of my loss prevention clothes, put on a warehouse worker's uniform, and went to work right alongside them, spying on them. Little did they know I was gathering information on what they were doing and what they were stealing. That was really cool to me. But I wanted more in life. I wanted something different. I wanted to be better. So my life went on. Soon I started working at Disney World. That's super exciting, right? What's more exciting than Disney? So let me tell you, Disney takes curiosity, discovery, and identity very seriously. While I was working at Disney's Animal Kingdom on Discovery Island, I became very curious about all the different animals around me. I wondered, why are flamingos pink? They're pink because of the shrimp that they eat. What sound do cheetahs make? They actually meow like a house cat. And while working at Hollywood Studios on one of the Toy Story roller coasters, I discovered how fun roller coasters and working on them can actually be. You see, I was the guy who would strap you into your seat before you went spinning off into Toy Story Land to make sure you didn't fall out of the ride. Now, when you get into the ride, you have this really cool space laser cannon in front of you, and you have to shoot all the different targets around you to score points. Pretty exciting, right? You also get to meet cool characters like Mr. Potato Head. And let me tell you, while working at Disney, my life became like a game of Guess Who. I met people from all over the world. But as you guessed, the magic and pixie dust wasn't enough for me. I wanted more in life. I wanted to learn new things and keep growing. So I studied to become a teacher, and now I teach 2nd and 3rd grade here in Indonesia, and I love it. But you might be wondering, why did I come here? How did I get here? Where did I come from? Let me tell you. I once had a principal who said, if you don't like it here, then go somewhere else. In other words, you are not a tree. You can get up and move. So that's exactly what I did. I got on a plane in Florida where I lived, and I flew 30 hours to come teach here at Sinarmas. Now, that principal I mentioned, he was actually advocating for change. He was saying if you don't like something in your life, you can change it. You don't have to stay in one spot, and I'm so thankful for him. I'm also thankful for my Uncle Tom. You see, growing up, he would always travel across the world and send me postcards of his travels. So as a kid, seeing those postcards inspired me to be brave enough to travel across the world myself. And I am so happy now because I get to see all the wonderful sights here in Indonesia with my mother. Now, as I close this talk today, let me leave you with this thought. I want you to close your eyes, pretend it is the year 2050. You have been curious about the world around you, you have discovered new lands, and you have found your identity in life. Your life is beautiful. What do you hear? What do you smell in this beautiful life of yours? What can you taste? What can you touch? And what do you see in this beautiful life? And in the words of Carol Haig, open your eyes and go make your star rise. I'm Robert Borows. Thank you very much.